Hi. Lady in here. So sorry for the jiggly camera. Anyways, I had no intention of going live. I was perfectly fine to record and to let my videos go into oblivion because I don't have any viewers. Whatever. I'm not gonna stop. But anyway, I didn't have a long enough video to be able to say what I wanted to say. So this is actually volume 3, but it's live. And it will be saved and I hope watched later. Dang, this sucks. I'm not getting enough light in here. Because it's Super Bowl Sunday 2019. I am in Atlanta, Georgia. And I was supposed to be part of the festivities and part of the people volunteering at Mercedes Benz, but well, I'll get into all that later. Um, anyways, uh, I was talking about the war that began on the 28th, this past Monday, about my dog. Anyway, let's see. Uh, I had texted and talked with the apartment complex's owner about getting a dog. I had already thought I had, damn, hit rock bottom when it came to my mental illness. I had no way. Let me take these up. Too much glare. Anyways, um, damn, I can't see. Here they go back. Okay, crap. So, wow. Anyways, and I decided that I needed to get a psychiatric service dog. Started off as an emotional support canine companion, then work her all the way up to a psychiatric service canine companion. That was my dream. That was my hope. And after contacting the owner of the apartment complex, I thought everything was a go. I said, "How big can I get her?" He said, "Up to 30 pounds." So I went to the Fulton County Animal Shelter, but the smallest dog they had was a dog that looks especially like a pit bull, but didn't act like a pit bull. She was a sweetheart, and when she saw me close up for the first time, my heart melted, and so did hers. She rolled over on her back and showed me her belly. Well, needless to say, I went into a doctor, but I couldn't bring her home on MARTA, which is our transit system here in Atlanta, Georgia. So I got the help of the Lifeline program that she runs the shelter, and they brought her to me Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon. So I had her all of 24 hours between Saturday and Sunday, but on Monday, when animal control came, I took her because of my lying, freaking sorry ass bitch of a roommate who wants to kill me. Yeah, anyways, well, with all these people coming over and all ganging up against me saying my dog's gotta go, I told them, well, the owner played ignorant, saying, "I thought you were gonna get a puppy." After I texted him and told them exactly what kind of dog I have, and I can prove it because I have screenshots from the text. So his plain ignorance is not good. So, anyways, with everyone ganging up on me because of my roommate, I told them, the police, the owner, the property manager, everybody who was there, that if they took my dog away, I was going to kill myself. They walked away. The property manager was the one who called animal control. So I went in my room with my dog and I started ODing, but I ran out of water. And I was afraid to go outside my door. So I ended up calling my younger son, who's in Houston, Texas, and telling him that I was killing myself and why. He asked me for, and I was saying goodbye and that I was sorry. He asked me for my address. I gave it to him. Then I had to call somebody else where I had gotten a phone call or something. So I told him I'd call you back. He said, okay. So I talked to a couple of other people. I told them what was going on. And then within, say, 15 minutes, my apartment living room was full of people. 5 EMTs and one of the sorry ass cops who refused to let me keep the dog, who threatened me and who abandoned me. Um, they were there. At least one of them was. She was a short black officer. Not that her blackness has anything to do with this, nor her height, nor her false eyelashes. None of that has anything to do with it. But she was just a really lousy officer who didn't care if I lived or died. Who was there to prop up my roommate, who is also black. Now, I'm not a racist. You know me. You know I'm not a racist. I'm a lover of all people. But what I can't stand is sorry ass people, regardless of their color, regardless of where they come from, especially if they're unprofessional or they're racist themselves. And this is what I think about that police officer. I never knew her name, but I encountered her twice that day and once on Wednesday. I'll talk about that later on. So my younger son in Florida called 911 in Texas and went all the way to Atlanta, and I had 5 EMTs, one cop, maybe other people, I don't know, in there waiting for me to come out of my room, leaving my dog behind because I was trying to die in my living room holding my dog. And I was taken to Grady Memorial Hospital for evaluation and treatment. I was wearing pajamas, socks, and no shoes. I had no outerwear. And it got colder last week. Colder than it's been in a while in Atlanta. And I had no outerwear, no shoes. So when I was discharged on Wednesday, surprise, because I told the psychiatrist, clinician, the social worker that if I'm released now, I'm at risk for killing myself again. Because nothing has changed and I know that I need long-term treatment. They still let me go. So I come back home, but before I left the hospital, I found out that my roommate allegedly, yeah, right, gained access to my room, which was unlocked. I have a lock on my door, but I didn't get a chance to lock my door because somebody was coming, animal control was coming to take my dog. While I was gone, she came in here, got access to my spending account information through Chime Bank, that I have through Chime Bank, got my brand new iPad, went through my stuff, got a used, but no longer used, Samsung Galaxy S8 from that I got through AT&T. Took all that stuff, raided my bank account, went on a spending spree for 2 days, leaving my bank that had a deposit of $171 from SSI by Social Security. When I was released from the hospital, I had $38 in change in it. $38 in change. Well, I screenshotted all this. And I saved it to my then phone's SD card. But, well, that phone I had to return to the agency that I was volunteering for because I had to resign. I can't work. I found out absolutely that positively I cannot work because my mental health is so unstable, even with psychiatric treatment, medication treatment, therapy, whatever. I'm just too freaking unstable to be reliable in any job, even if I'm volunteering from home. That's insane, but that's my reality. So, what I'm recording with is an older Coolpad Catalyst something. I think it's got Android 4.0 on it, maybe. But I do have Wi-Fi in the house. Yay, Wi-Fi. So I'm able to do these videos. So anyways, I come home, I knock on the office door, and I was greeted by a very nasty woman who said, close. I told her who I was, where I had been. She came outside. She said, well, I'll go upstairs. I didn't lock your door. And she came, are you going? Are you going? I said, ma'am, I'm calling the police because I don't feel safe going up there. There's nobody up there. She was very mean. And then I called the police, and they were on their way, and the owner to let him know that I did not have my keys. I had just been released from the hospital after I tried to commit suicide. Well, the police came, and wouldn't you know it, that same short, black female officer with the false eyelashes was there. And then here comes the property manager, the one who called animal control on my dog. Wow, lovely people, right? So, anyways, the office lady went upstairs to lock my door. The property manager came. That police officer and another police officer came. A tall, overweight white guy. Um, anyway, the short, black, female, false eyelashed officer threatened to have me arrested and taken to the county jail. The property manager told me I was being evicted. This was all on Wednesday because I broke my lease. I'm in violation of my lease terms because of the dog. Um, and that I called the police too much. I mean, 4 times since August 31st. 4 times? That's excessive? Whatever. And then she stood outside the gate while I was inside the gate, lying like hell about me while I was talking to the owner. So she told me I was being evicted for those things. And besides, I got on her nerves. I'm not making this up. I'm not making this up. This is what happened on Wednesday.
What did you say, Freddie? Shocker that the Irish guys going for the Patriots. Yeah, it's a little fixy.
So I went upstairs with the police and I asked if I could do a police report. They were like, "What for?" That's the black female officer. No, you can't make a police report.
We're going to get details in a news update with our Gravir Dinzel. That's coming up next.
So yeah, I was denied my right to file a police report. I'm going to have to leave my home sometime either tomorrow or Tuesday to go to Atlanta APD to do a police report on everything that's been happening. I've already gone online to do a complaint against this one officer whose name I don't know, but let them know what she has done since I encountered her Monday twice and Wednesday once. I talked to my former supervisor, and I have a plan in the work to leave because I am being evicted, but it's going to take some time to do this. I'm not going to say where I'm going. Let's just say it involves one of my sons. I have also messaged my older son on Facebook Messenger yesterday, and we had a very long and meaningful conversation, even though we couldn't see each other. And who's having to fight his own demons. So I've got a child, a grown man who's my son, who fights his own demons, another son he's in Florida, another son in Texas, who is the one I call my hero when he was a child, and up until now he's still my hero, who lives in Texas. Both of them love me dearly, but they both had one thing in common: me. And me being probably one of the worst mothers in history. The only thing I hadn't done to my older son was kill him and sexually abuse him. Let's just say this child went through hell, and now as an adult, he is in danger of committing the same acts that I did to him to others. In fact, he already did them to his younger brother. When I couldn't stand to be around him anymore, I had to walk away from something, leaving my older son. My younger son was like hellspawn, his older brother, and his older brother, and my older brother tried to tell me this. Well, I couldn't believe it. I had no idea until I saw it for myself when I had to send my children away. First, my older son, on November 7th, 2006, I sent him to live with his dad. And that same month after Thanksgiving, I sent my younger son away, who by then had a psychotic break because he's half black and his black family abandoned him. His brother, who abused him, was the only male role model in his life. 3, see, whatever. I was abusing him, but I tried to stop. And he was having an identity crisis and all this that going on. He wasn't going to school because he was being bullied by the black kids in school. And he started hating black people and there for himself. So the only way to save him was to send him away and into foster care. Wow. Thankfully, I never got him back. But he did stay with the foster family. And they raised him from the age of 8 to 18 when his father finally showed up. And he went to live with his father, met his father's family at a family reunion where he was introduced to people he never even knew existed, and started forming a long-lasting bond with his uncle, with whom he now lives with in Texas. The same girlfriend for 4.5 years now. He's 20 years old. He graduated today, but he had quit school because he was acting out when he was 18. Bad stuff starting 18, whatever. Because he felt abandoned by one of his role models, the leader of the ROTC program in his high school. She retired, and after that, everything fell apart in his life again. But he's a well put together young man who suffers from depression because of me, and his brother, and his being abandoned by his father, being raised in foster care. But the guy is 20 years old, makes $19 an hour working for Frito-Lay in Texas, over $9 an hour, has had a steady girl 911 to save my life. Wow. Awesome son. And my oldest son is no slouch, but he's a lot like me. He suffers his demons. Just like I do. He's like me that both of us would care to admit. He's going to be 30 next year. But he's got a girlfriend now. He works as a chef, and he's very good at what he does. I understand. But I haven't on him since November 7th, 2006. He's not ready for that. But it's okay. When he is ready, I am ready. Anyways, now, back to True Confessions. With all of this going on at home with the roommate, with her stealing all these things, now she has stolen a kitchen knife of mine, my largest one, and its sharpener. And with her threats of death towards me, I have no doubt that she plans to carry this out. But what she doesn't understand is that although I seem to be down, I'm smarter than she is, better looking, and have dealt with her type of person before. Psychopaths, really, pathological liars, people who threaten my life. That's why I ended up leaving my ex-husband and taking our son with me. Yeah, anyways, if she doesn't kill me, that'll be a miracle. But if she does, I've already put this video out there for anybody who wants to watch it. Anybody. And I've already left word for my children about what's going on here and what to do in case something happens to me from her or anybody else, because I think she's been in a gang and still has gang affiliations, because she's got this jailhouse tattoo on her face of 3 numbers going downwards or upwards, whatever. Tattoos on her neck and body. I got tattoos, but nothing like that. And with her lies and denials of everything under the sun that she's done since even before she moved in, starting with her saying that she's clean, she's not. And my being evicted from here in 30 days, I am not inclined to be a neat freak anymore. In fact, I'm on freaking strike. I'm not the damn maid here anymore. I'm not going to sweep unless I sweep up after myself. I'm not going to mop after anybody else except myself. I'm not going to clean up in the bathroom except for myself. I'm taking my own garbage out. I've taken all the cleaning supplies out of the kitchen. I'm about to do it out of the bathroom. So if she wants to clean, she's going to have to get her own damn supplies. I banned her from using my Wi-Fi. I brought all that in here in my room and changed my Wi-Fi password and gateway name. She can look at the gateway name, but she can't get my password. I don't even have it written down where it's identifiable. So even that $22 that she owes me for that, I don't even care. I have no money. She's not going to pay me for half the electric bill. So I'm really screwed here, and I'm not going to have any, I don't have any money to pay rent even. I can't even pay electricity, cable, internet, none of that. And I'm not the one type of person who's going to go and do a crowdfunding campaign. If somebody wants to do that on my behalf, fine, have at it. But I kind of feel funny about doing it myself. Whatever. Anyways, now, all of that. Now, to explain my behavior toward my children, my mental health as it is now, you gotta know a little stuff, and I have no good excuse for it. Abuse is a choice. So consider PSA who are abusers, have the potential to be abusers, are this. This is the face of what a child abuser looks like. Let me get a good look. This is what a child abuser looks like. I live in Atlanta, which is a roommate who wants to kill me. I can't work a regular job because of my mental illness. Sorry about camera work, if that's what you want to. We look normal. We look average. Some of us even hold down jobs. We're just like you and me, just like you. But except we have a dark secret. We hurt our children. I mean, that is what makes me and people like me scarier than the people that are caught. Because you would never suspect somebody who looks like me could be capable of such horrific acts towards people that they claim to love most in all the world. I'm not a psychopath. I'm not a sociopath. I have had psychotic breaks. I have attempted suicide. Normal? Yeah, right, define normal. So, but I come from a broken home, sadly, whose both sides of the family, father's and mother's side of the family, have been cursed by mental illness. Many of my family members are both, and have passed it on to their offspring, and because of certain circumstances. Anyways, well, before I could even form any line, okay, I was some way other than penetration that brought on. First time I saw a naked boy was about the same time. He didn't see me naked, but I saw him. I ended up being vicarious And having been molested by men and women, I became a sex addict. On top of all that. And because of my history of being physically abused, psychologically tortured, and all of that, it's brought me to be the person I am today. Oh, damn. Sorry for the camera work. The person I am today with 3 diagnosed mental illness conditions: bipolar 1, borderline personality disorder, and PTSD. The PTSD usually doesn't rear its ugly head until I've been triggered. And let me tell you, the week before last on MLK Day, after the march that I was in with my faith community, members of the faith community, somebody within my faith community actually triggered my PTSD. I'm not going to say how, but let's just say it was so bad that with that happening and other things that happened last year and up until Monday led me to try to take my own life last Monday. So I'm not in the hospital. My life is in danger. I've talked, chatted, whatever with my sons to let them know what's going on, where to find the evidence, and who the person is that wants to kill me. I've included her name in correspondences with my children. The name of the owner who told me that my dog had to go. I don't know the name of the property manager, but not hard to find that. Because she also, believe it or not, is a black woman. I don't know what it is. I'm not a racist, but all these black women hate me for some reason. And I love black people. Go figure. Whatever. So I got all these black people against me. I got the white property owner against me. And I'm being evicted. And my life has been threatened. So, for whoever gets to see this, I'm going to try to find some ways to share this and the other 2 videos in this series. Wow. You know, I'm sorry about the lighting. It's after 8:30, Super Bowl Sunday morning. And I have no viewers, I have no likes, nothing. But people to come and view this after the fact. I have a YouTube channel. I smell dog poop, but there's no dogs here unless my roommate brought one in. And that be something. But I haven't used the bathroom in here. I don't have a dog in here anymore to poop. The place smells like crap. And I refuse to clean except behind myself. Because I'm sick of being the maid. I'm being evicted. I have no money. Yada, yada, yada. Well, that's what I'm dealing with on Super Bowl Sunday. Now, I was supposed to be at Mercedes-Benz Stadium today. I was supposed to be doing the Super Bowl experience, so on and so forth. But because of the events of this past Monday, I couldn't participate and I had to resign from this nonprofit where I also acted as a administrative assistant. I'm in no way, shape, or form doing anything. Was I done something really crazy and outside the box? I contacted the presidential candidate of choice, Kamala Harris, gave her a little background information about myself, what I can't do, but I also told her what I can, and that is inform her constituents and potential voters around the country mental illness. I've lived with mental illness my whole life. I've had experience with mentally ill people my whole life. I have had 3, 4 different hospitalizations for mental illness. 4? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, about 4 hospitalizations for mental illness. I have 3 diagnosed mental health illness condition. Well, as a child. Okay, Tubby and Lester, they were live at a Richwood. Dad had taken me downstairs to tell a couple of jokes. But these jokes were so, and coming from a 6-year-old, 7-year-old, especially my younger son. So that wasn't funny, but it was like, what? But it was about Santa Claus. And I made told another joke that I made up in the similar vein. I mean, I was an early reader. My mother told me that between the ages of 3 and 4, I essentially taught myself how to read. I'm very well read, but I also have the attention span of a fruit fly. And my short-term memory sucks. Probably because of all the blows to the head that I received from my mother, father, and ex-husband while they were abusing me. So, but my short-term memory is going. My long-term memory is quite well, but is still suspect. I don't have dementia. I don't know if I have CTE. I'm 54. I'm going to be 55 this year. I don't know what's causing this. And I have balance issues. But anyways, with all this intelligence, my math skills are abysmal. I still have to count on my fingers and write everything down on paper. So as a calculator. Math functions above basic decimal functions and primary fraction functions. Heck, that's it. That's all I can do. Algebra, geometry, trig, calculus. My mind does not think like that. But yet, at the age of 8, I was reading on a college level. My older son has me beat, though. He was reading at a college level at 5. When he was 9 and was living with his father and stepmother for a year, he was tested. His IQ was tested, and surprise, shock, surprise, his IQ at the age of 9 was 168. He's now almost 29 years old, so I'm sure his IQ is somewhere around 200 now. Yeah. And my younger son is no slouch in the intellect department either. He's 40 IQ, at the very least. Yet I test 112. Why? Because standard IQ tests, well, they give you points for your abilities. They take away points for your detriments like math. Sorry. So my mean score is 112 mathematical aptitude, which shocks the hell out of people. But then why do I have two such amazingly intelligent? Well, their fathers are brilliant men, true enough, but they're also, excuse the word, fuck. They're both liars, pathological liars, delusional. My ex-husband, who is of Sephardic Jewish descent, fashioned himself for years as a Native American, specifically a Plains Native American. Now he's got it in his head that he's thinking about it. And oddly enough, when his father did collect him when he was 18 years old and took him to his first ever family reunion with his family, meeting all these people, all his cousins and everybody they never knew existed, but who found out about him because word was passed in his family that James's son, who is 18 years old, is alive and coming to the family reunion. So all these people were coming out of the woodwork to introduce themselves to my son, who's 18 years old. And he was overwhelmed by all this attention, considering he grew up knowing only two people, three people, meeting two people in his immediate family. One of his uncle's great grandson, my uncle, his great uncle's great grandson, and my father and his brother. That's the only family he ever knew existed on my side. And up until he was 18, the only family members he'd ever met were his aunt, his father, his grandmother, grandfather, and great grandmother, and then later on his great grandfather. Because he was James's dirty little secret. This young boy, this child, had to be kept secret because A, he was illegitimate and the reunion came. And both his foster mother and me told him that if your father gives you the opportunity, asks you to go live with him, go. This is one of the last opportunities you're ever going to have to get to know your father and your father's family. Go. Sure enough, he asked our son to move in with him, and they went and moved in together in City, Georgia. Well, he also met his sister. He's got a baby sister who we just met last year. She's like 9. Yeah, that's an interesting story in and of itself. But as far as his father and father's family is concerned, he met his uncle, Tyrone. And that's who he lives with now, Tyrone, who is nothing like his father. Tyrone is a responsible, married man with kids and quite possibly grandkids by yeah. And he and Asher are as tight as two people can be, as tight as he was, still is with his foster mother.
This is what it's all about.
Yeah, his foster mother. And you know what? Giving birth to a person, that woman, his foster mother, and her son, and the whole family, as a matter of fact, were more family to him than I ever could be. And I'll always be grateful to them for all of this. What they did to my child. As soon as he moved in with his father and his younger sister and grandfather, grandmother, great grandmother, great grandfather. Oh yeah. He got a job, his second ever job in his whole life, at IHOP in Union City, where he was a waiter, and he did well. But he was the only member of the idea to go to Colorado to start a business because he had ties up there. So they packed up and went to Colorado. Guess who was supporting the family? My younger son, the son that he and I share. He got a job at Target. And he worked there until his father decided he needs to relocate the family to Houston, Texas, where greener pastures are, or so he thought. So the family packed up and moved to Houston. So my son gets another job working for Kroger. And then for a while we lost contact. And when contact was reestablished, not only had he left his father and moved in with his uncle, but he had just went on to complete his high school career online because he had to start over because he quit school when he was 6 months from graduating, and had to start over high school online while living with his uncle. And he got his new job after Kroger. Well, he was working for Kroger, then he quit Kroger to go work for Frito-Lay in Texas, making 19 something dollars second shift with awesome benefits. And Frito-Lay is a big sponsor of the Super Bowl, which I was supposed to be working on today. Yeah. Oh well. So here I am, plugged in front of my TV, with bad lighting, recording, well, broadcasting this video that I hope somebody's going to watch live later on. So my mood is okay. I'm sleep deprived, but that's a chronic condition, and I cannot, sleep medications do not work on me at all. The only substance that I know will knock me out for more than 3 hours is Librium. I learned about Librium from my mother because I had horrific cross hormones as a teenager. Once I got every month, I would go into what ended up being a psychosis, a menstrual psychosis. Now that's something interesting to develop a theory about. Menstrual psychosis, where on one side my physical body is passing out because of this hormone imbalance, and while I was passed out, this seemingly alter personality would rise up, angry, and start cussing and fighting people who were trying to help me. And it happened all the time until I got on birth control pills when I was 19, 18, 19, and all that went away. And then I got married, went off birth control pill, got pregnant, had a miscarriage that I never went to the hospital about, but I did have a miscarriage. My first pregnancy, I didn't miscarriage, so I thought, okay, I can't have kids. And then all of a sudden, in 1989, I started having these funky, um, I used pregnancy test, and voila, I'm pregnant with my first child. And then my older son was born August 26, 1990 at 2:31 a.m. natural childbirth. My second child was born 12:31 a.m. May 13th, 1998. I was born August 9th, 1964. So, anyways, well, I'm not going to give my children's names. I'm not going to give anybody else's names except mine. I'm Carla Soderberg. I did mention the first names of my children's fathers, but I'm not giving out their last names. Or just my other son's father's middle name. Anyways, I'm not going to go all into that, but I have all this stuff written down. My roommate's name, our address, records of the fraudulent transactions that she allegedly made when I was in the hospital. Um, let's see. I've given this information to people. I've let my children in on what's going on here. And God forbid anything happens to me, I have this record that's viewable. And somebody out there wants to play Good Samaritan, although that, if you really read the story of the Good Samaritan, you know that this really isn't that. Because the Good Samaritan, he was a stranger to the man that he saved, the Jewish man he saved. He was a Samaritan. And Samaritans hated each other. So the man was not only an outsider, he was an untouchable as far as the Jews were concerned, an enemy. So an enemy had compassion towards his enemy and took him and paid for his care and left him at an inn. So the guy who was robbed by street vermin, by robbers, survived because of a stranger who was his enemy but was not. And that's the true story of what the parable of the Good Samaritan means. It's not about a stranger, it's about an enemy. It's like, let's see. It's like a Palestinian in Jerusalem coming to an aid of a rabbi. Or, a Jew in Israel. What's the word I'm looking for? Hasidic Jew. Yeah, that's the Good Samaritan right there. Something like that is what a Good Samaritan really is. So come on, people. Quit misappropriating the term Good Samaritan. Think about what it really means before you use it. Because if it's just a friendly stranger, that ain't it. That person has to be an enemy who's helping another enemy who's more friend than any of this. Because if you read the story, Jews passed him and other people passed him and left him to die on the road because, well, it was the Sabbath, da 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 da. But a stranger who was an enemy, religious enemy, saved a man's life. Good Samaritan indeed. I'm not looking for a good Samaritan, but if somebody watches this and wants to perhaps um, have this as evidence or wants to permit my, not permit, but prevent my demise, uh, my name is Carla Francesca Soderberg. I live in Atlanta, Georgia. I live in the west side, not West End, but the west side, northwest side of Atlanta. I'm not going to give you my address because that's just way too much information. But I'm not hard to find. I live in the hood, and I'm one of maybe 3 white people in this small area known as, well, there's more white people in um, Washington Park area, historic Washington Park. I'm not hard to find. So, anyways, if you want to find me, I can be found because I am going to start poking my head outside the door sometime this week. I don't know when, but I will. Even if it's just to go to the police department and make police reports. Something that I've been denied to do when a police officer comes, and I've been denied the right to call the police by the management company who is evicting this. And I think it's about time that I gave up the mic and the camera, the phone, and watched some television. So, bye, y'all. Peace out. I don't want to stop this thing.